rolling cliffs covered with floating cherry blossom petals or ringed around a serene lake. I bet you've seen this seed before, but not how I'm going to be transforming it in this video. So join me and my foxy friend Millie as we create a house, market, and a secret final project to transform one of Minecraft's rarest seed generations. Okay guys, before I can even talk about what we need to do to get started, can we please appreciate how cool this seed is? Like, I've seen it around before, but actually playing on it is next level. This terrain is absolutely insane, but we do need to get rolling with getting some tools, a bed, and some food. So let's grab some of this wood here and get all of that done. Okay, that's tools sorted. Now I just need to pick up some snacks, and I'm gonna go for the sheep first because I need their wool too to make a bed. Oh, any more sheep? Oh, right here, obviously. I'm just gonna grab the rest of the sheep up here because once I've got the wool in the bed and cook the food, I'm gonna head to bed and head right out for materials. So let's put our bed down, cook our food, and then head to bed. Oh, I'm probably gonna need a few more pieces of wood. Man, what a view. Just having some dinner, and I'm gonna wish you guys a good night. I headed underground to gather some coal and iron for tools and armor and some extra for lanterns. Once that was done, I got to work collecting lots of calcite, diorite, cobblestone, and deep slate. Then I went on the hunt for a lush cave. Once there, I picked up all of the moss I could carry for mossy stone combinations and then headed straight to the surface to shear a bunch of azalea leaves. Next, I gathered a bunch of coarse dirt. Last on my to-do list was wood collection, specifically spruce, birch, and cherry wood. And after all that was done, I headed home. So I was rewatching Bridgerton and I love the style of their houses. So I'm gonna try something a little different and go for a Regency-ish townhouse style, or at least try to. So let's get the foundation for this thing sorted and then we can start building it up. Now the outline's done, I'm just gonna run around and connect everything up to the floor so that we don't have a weird floating house hanging off the side of this area. And now that's done, we can add in some of these slabs to create a stairway up to the house. The last thing to do for our foundation here is fill in the floor, so let's do that, then we can move on to the frame. For the pillars, I'm just going to use some of these different calcite block variations from the chipped mod, and honestly, it is such a win because it gives that fancy, elegant, quartz-like look without actually having to face the absolute horrors of the nether. No gas, no lava, just smooth, lovely blocks ready to go. Okay, so far so good. For the front bits, I'm just going to do the same kind of pillar blocks right here, so we'll go up 3, 4. And then on these ones here, we're just going to build up in the middle. Oh, not there. We're just going to build up in the middle here so that we can add in 3 of these walls. And then on top, we're going to add in a pillar block. Then let's join these up with some of these diorite slabs and then do the same on the other side and we should be good for the frame. Okay, I said we'll be good for the frame but completely forgot we have a whole second floor frame to do. So let's get that done first and then we'll fill in all of the walls. Alright, now that's all done, we can fill in the floor with some more birch planks and then we will add in our staircase and we should be good to fill in the walls. For the walls, we're obviously going with this cute cherry wood because in this seed I feel like it would be illegal not to. And once again, I'm using the chipped mod to add a little extra variation with the planks because let's be real, and I say this all the time, but chipped mod is a lifesaver when it comes to building. It just gives so many options without having to hunt down a million different materials, and I love that. Anyways, enough about that, let's get these walls filled in. Alright, walls are filled in, let's add in our door and then we can also add in our windows. Now let's add in our windows and I'm going to start by just doing one of these 4-paned windows on the top of each of them and then we'll fill in the bottom part with just the plain windows. And now we've got the frame of the roof sorted, we can finally fill it all in and see the base of the house fully completed before we move on to exterior details. It's already looking really great, but as you can imagine, actually adding a roof makes a huge difference. It just pulls everything together and makes the whole build feel finished because it quite literally is finished, aside from the exterior details, of course. Actually, before I finish filling this in, I should probably add in these little bits here, just so that we don't have big holes in the side of our house. I always forget to do this before filling in the roof, and it makes it super awkward to do once the roof is already built. So probably a good idea to get it done now. Okay, now that's done, we can finish off filling in this roof. And then I should probably go find some sheep or cows or something, because I am looking very hungry. So I guess we're cutting the roof filling in slightly short to just grab a few more pieces of food, since I've just taken some significant damage, and it would be pretty upsetting to lose the world right now just as we're starting. Actually, to be honest, we could probably get away with just grabbing all of these carrots and using them as a temporary thing, because once we've done the house, we're going to move right on to building a farm anyways. So maybe there will be a few more carrots laying around, perhaps, because I think I'm going to have to eat all of these to get my health back up to normal. Okay, actually, I got a few more carrots, but we are absolutely fine. Oh, the house looks interesting from this side, but it does look really good, actually. Anyways, back to filling in this roof. Okay, that is looking really good. I am so excited to decorate this. I know that Bridgerton isn't exactly historically accurate. Penelope, I love you, but where on earth did your acrylics come from? But it is so pretty, and I'm definitely going to try and draw some more inspiration from that. So I'm obviously just running around adding in a bunch of these flower boxes underneath all of the windows, and then adding in these diorite shutters. And I think they look super cute. Oh, and I'm also using a bunch of the flowers from the Meadow mod, or Let's Do Meadow or something it's called. Just to mix it up a little, because I feel like we always use the same old flowers, so why not? Okay, those look adorable, and I actually left the back sides of this side empty because I was thinking we could do like a little double chimney situation. So let's just build that up with a mix of these cobblestone bricks. And now that those bases are done, let's just jump down here and add in some of these walls for some extra details and dimension. Next, for our details, we're going to add in some of these pillar trims, because it just would not be an end build without these pillar trims, except this time I am actually using them on pillars, which is quite a rare occurrence actually. Now out the front here, I just feel like it would be really cute to add in a few benches under the windows, and then a barrel here, a barrel there, and then a couple of these pots to go around the entrance. So naturally, I've covered the roof in leaves, and it is finally time to do the interiors. Okay, so this here is our first room. I've already added in the lighting and the rug, but I think the first thing we should do in here is add in a lovely fireplace to go alongside our chimney, although I am going to move it into the middle because I feel like if I put it here it would just look strange. So let's dig out all of these pieces of cherry wood, then let's mix it up and add in one of these chipped variations just for, well, a little bit of variation. Fill in the floor, add our campfire, and then fill this in with some more of this pillar trim stuff. And luckily it's mostly hidden by the exterior details anyway, so it hopefully shouldn't look too weird from the outside. Can I place this way? Oh, okay, I can. So that looks pretty nice as is, but it is a little bit flat. So I'm thinking if we use some of these pillar trims for something that isn't a pillar, we can actually make this fireplace look a little bit more 3D. Now let's get rid of these extra blocks, then add some more pillar trim down the center, and that is our fireplace complete. To make this look a bit fancier, I'm gonna do cabinets on either side, and then a couple drawers just under these windows. Now let's add in our couches and our little footstool / coffee table type thing, and then let's add in some extra details. That's looking really great, but the final thing we need to do here is add some curtains, and then that should really complete everything. I noticed that these kind of houses always have a bunch of cabinets and just random chairs everywhere, so that's pretty much what I'm going for here. And then for the entryway, I'm just going to put a couple of these and add a couple of these vases. And then over here, I'm going to do flower pot and a flower. And then I feel like they always have like this big entrance table type situation with a vase on it. So that's what I've done there. Now let's add a lamp right here and then make this sort of arched with these pillar trims. Okay, I feel like that looks really, really good actually. Let's get to work on our dining room. So for the furniture in here, I'm going to keep it pretty simple and straightforward. Just a couple cabinets on the side here, and then a table straight down the middle with chairs either side. For decoration, I'm going to go with one of these here. And I guess let's keep it symmetrical, but then sort of throw it off a little bit by adding a lamp just on this side. Then either side of the fireplace, let's do a couple cabinets. And I found these very interesting statues in one of my mods, so I feel like they look very appropriate in this room. And then I was thinking we go ahead and put in a couple of these and then fill in those spaces with azalea leaves. To be honest, let's just do one tall. Alright, I would say that is our downstairs interior done, and I'm actually really surprised about how well I've done with the items I have. Upstairs, I've kept the kitchen really, really simple. We have our sink to wash our dishes, a couple furnaces for our normal food, and then a stove just because it looks cute. And then we have a crafting table because all of this here is storage. Then we have our landing area at the top of the stairs with a bunch of random chairs, which is true to the source material, I feel like. Then up here I have my proper storage area with just a few furnaces and our chipped mod tables. And finally, through these doors here is our bedroom, which is super, super cute. I wasn't really sure what to do with this room, but I think I've nailed it. And that concludes our house interiors. Let me know what you think. Okay, now that our home is finished, it's time to build a farm because I definitely don't want to starve to death and I am running out of carrots. So we're obviously going to make the farm, but I do think it would be fancier if I called it a garden. So we're going to be building a garden that just happens to have cabbages and tomatoes and carrots and wheat growing in it. You know what? I guess it technically is a vegetable garden, so it doesn't matter if you call it a farm or a garden, it's still correct either way. Alright, now our vegetable patches are marked out. Let's do a little infinite water source and get these holes filled in. And just before we till the land, let's add in a little bit of spruce trapdoor around the edge so that it doesn't look so ugly on the sides. Now that's done, let's till the land and then we'll get to work on changing out the floor a little bit so it's not just grass surrounding this area. I'm thinking we're going to do the coarse dirt and some spruce plank shavings from the chipped mod, so it'll just mix up the ground a little bit and make it look a bit more interesting. So now let's just dig all the way around underneath where this farm sort of area is and change out the blocks for something a bit more interesting. Okay, so it's looking very brown here now, but it will be fine once we actually plant some stuff. But for now, let's just add in a bunch of these different stone blocks to create a little bit of safety and also for aesthetic reasons. All right, that's looking pretty good. Before the sun goes down though, let's get all of this in the ground. And then we can add some lighting and some other stuff tomorrow. Okay, good morning. Let's get these plots filled in. And here's what it looks like all grown in. So now let's add in some extra details around the edge, some lighting and whatnot. So I'm gonna use a few of these hay bales right here and then another one right here, and I'll turn the rest into some bread. Next, let's add in some of these. Just cover the wall in leaves a little bit to break up all of the boring grey and brown that we've got going on. And let's add in some extra barrels just for, I guess, food storage and just general aesthetic reasons. For lighting, let's keep it super simple and just build up with 3 fences, a campfire, and a trapdoor. And let's also make sure to put that campfire out. And then hang a lantern, and we have some very cute little street lamps. So let's do another one of those right here. Easy peasy. And that is our garden finished. The sun is just about to go down, so we should probably go take a little tiny nap and then head out for some more materials. Even Millie's itching to get into bed. I headed out again to chop down some oak, spruce, and dark oak trees, making sure to shear many sheep along the way. I visited a couple villages to borrow some hay bales and picked up various flowers to be able to make dye. I ventured underground to gather more stone and moss, as well as extra iron and coal. And I managed to find some diamonds to upgrade my tools. I also fought a few creepers for their gunpowder, then headed back to the surface for sand to be able to craft TNT. Once that was done, I grabbed some bamboo and sugarcane, then rounded out my collection by peacefully picking up lily pads. So I definitely want some little animal friends and we need a place for them to live. So let's build a cute little barn slash stable situation. I'm also thinking I need to make sure I have some sort of backup source for wool. So this is definitely just going to be a sheep barn, but maybe I'll add in a couple other random animals just so it looks cuter. All right, that's the base of our barn done. Now let's just join this up with all of these, what are they called? Spruce fences. All right, looking good. Now let's just go to every post and build up 3 palisades. Now that's done, I'm gonna add in some hay bales in here for some decoration. And I know this is a weird stage to do decoration at, but I just wanna mark them out so that I can also know where I'm gonna put all of this coarse dirt and whatever on the floor. Does that look good? Maybe we need to put like another set here. Okay, that should do it. It really pains me that I'm using so many hay blocks when I could be eating them. That looks great. Now let's move on to the frame for the roof. So for this, I'm just going to add in a bunch of the oak wood all the way around the edge, basically just following what we already have here. Now our ring of oak wood is done. Let's just add in these spruce planks to join up these little gaps a little bit more. And now let's work on the edge of our frame for our roof. Don't know why that was so hard to say. It's a little hard to tell with the sun on the dark oak at this angle, but I think that's even. So let's do the same thing on all the other sides. And then hopefully we can get to work on building up the rest of the roof. I don't know why I'm doing this with slabs and not blocks, because I actually need these slabs, but never mind. Now the edge of the frame is done. We have to build up the middle of the frame. So I'm going to add in these slabs here. Then we'll go 2 across here, up 1, up another one, then add a stair. Double that up, another stair, and then this can come out like this. Now let's do the same on the other side and hope they join up and that I counted correctly. So to fill in this roof, I'm using yellow and pink wool, and for some reason it feels super familiar. I can't think what it reminds me of, but it reminds me of something. Oh my goodness, it's Mr. Blobby, isn't it? Oh, of all things. If you're not from the UK, you might have no idea what I'm talking about, and Google Mr. Blobby at your own risk. He's kind of like a cursed but iconic figure in British culture, and now I can't unsee him in this build. Brilliant. Wait, actually, is Mr. Blobby actually only a UK thing? Do other countries know about him, or is this just one of those bizarrely specific, painfully British nightmares? I actually don't know much of the Mr. Blobby lore, but I do know that he is pink and yellow and ever so slightly terrifying to look at. I think he's from like a 90s TV show, and I don't know if he was well received back then, but he's a pretty prevalent character in British media, I'd feel like, so I don't know. He's definitely scary though. Anyways, I think that is our Mr. Blobby roof complete. I just need to make sure it's nice and well lit up before I go and get some sheep, because we don't want anything scary spawning in here and killing me mostly, but also killing the sheep because that's my job. Actually, no, I won't be killing the sheep. I lied. I'll just be shearing them. Okay, actually, I'm not really feeling that, so I'm just going to pick up the lanterns, and I think I'm going to just hang them from either side of the palisades here. Oh, not there, please. 1 block up. Thank you. Okay, actually, I'm not really loving that either, but I do kind of like this. So I'm thinking we just switch that around and make it so that these point inwards like this, and then that should look a little bit better. Let's quickly finish placing all of the leaves on the roof just to break up the Mr. Blobbiness of it all. And then that should be our barn finished, and we can head out for some sheep tomorrow. Okay, well, there's plenty of horses around, but I'm not seeing any sheep immediately nearby. I am kind of dreading getting the sheep because it is not very easy to get up here. I might have to make some sort of makeshift staircase with some dirt or something just to get them up there a little bit easier, but that does require finding some sheep first. You see, I was about to go on a huge trip to try and find sheep, and there is literally one right here, but he is a little bit stuck. So let's build this upwards, and then we hold some wheat in front of him, and he should just come with us. There we go. Okay, up here, sir. Let's head to my barn. Get in here. Good sheep. Okay, let's go on the lookout for another one. I think I saw one down this way, to be honest. So I thought I saw another one down here. Oh, okay, there's a few over there. let's head over there and grab those very safely. Oh wait, no, there is one right here. Yippee! We don't have to travel so far. Okay, come with me. Come with me. No, not that way. Come this way. Come this way. Come this way. I have wheat. Come back. Whew. Okay, that took a little while, but we have 2 sheep now. We can just breed them and we should be good if we just keep breeding them and breeding them and breeding them, and we'll have plenty of backup wool in case we need it. Hey, buddy, I got you a friend. You excited? Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, get in here. There we go. Give him a little kiss. And we have a little baby sheep. How sweet is that? So we're running a tiny bit low on bread, so let's grab all of our wheat here and refill our food supply. And make sure to plant this again because otherwise we'll be eating cabbages, carrots, or tomatoes for dinner later. So I've been doing a lot of building lately and I feel like I need a bit of a break from placing stuff. So now I'm going to dig stuff. Now that I think about it, that doesn't really feel like a break. Nevertheless, a girl boss persists, though. Let's dig out the edge of this pond. Actually, I just remembered I got a bunch of materials for TNT, so I'm gonna try out a method where I just blow the ground to pieces, then smooth it out with dirt and fill it with water after. Wish me luck, because I have a feeling this isn't going to go as planned. I also don't know which resource pack it is, but it's making it look way more ominous. I miss the old Minecraft TNT texture. This looks scary. So I guess let's do a test piece and hopefully it does what we're looking for. Hey, you know what? That was pretty good. That was pretty much what I wanted to happen because it saves me from digging out so much ground and then I can just fill it all in with water. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this is actually working. Ah! That's probably a bit too close, and I'm probably being a bit ambitious by just setting all of them off at once, but we have plenty of dirt. We can just fix any mistakes after they happen. All right, that was actually a little bit exciting. So let me just build up and we'll double check the damage we've done, or, well, actually it's still damage, but hopefully it's good damage and we don't have to do so much digging. I mean, it's not the worst. I think if we make some more TNT, it should be fine. I don't know. I'm lost for words. Anyways, let's go make some more TNT and blow up the edge of this pond a little bit more. In fairness, I don't even think the pond really needs expanding, but we're doing it anyway. So as I said, like 3 or 4 times before, let's go make some more TNT. All right, here is what we're working with. I did all of the TNT around the edge and then added in all of the blocks around the edge again to just maintain the integrity. The integrity? Is that what I'm looking for? The structure? I don't know, but just to maintain the pond situation here. I did also manually terraform around the edge a little bit, but now I'm just making my way back down because I've got to fill in the first layer of all of the holes so that I can fill it in with water and it will like even out. Okay, actually I might have to go down one more to fill it in. Oh, I just realized that because this is all dirt, it's going to be really hard to tell which parts are actually leveled out and which parts I need to keep, you know? Because like if I level this bit out, it's just going to be covered up and then I'm going to have to dig it out again. But I don't know. It's what I have to do, so let's just get it done. All right, we are all filled in and I think it's safe to remove our little water barrier here to get the filling in process just sped up a little bit. I constantly think about how my first few attempts to fill a pond went and how people in my comments were like, girl, what the heck are you doing? And they were actually the ones that ended up teaching me how to properly fill ponds in. So thank you to you guys. Here's a pond dedicated to you. And now I've said all that, watch me make a mistake and it not fill itself in properly. Stay tuned, I guess. So to be honest, just getting rid of that outer ring filled in a lot of the pond itself, so I kind of have a really good head start here, but I still do have to go around the entire edge so that it properly fills in on these pieces that just aren't filled in. Oh, wait, it's doing something. The way this works, even though I figured it out now, the way this works will forever confuse me. Like, there is just no logic to the water working like this. Like, why would that make that happen? I'm not complaining though, because it cuts my workload in half. Probably more than in half. It really does save me a lot of time. All right, that is officially all filled in, but it's looking a little bit crazy in the middle. So let's get down there and start the very fun task that I've been looking forward to this whole time, which is digging out even more of this dirt. Can you put TNT underwater? Maybe that's the move. Do I use the rest of my TNT to just blow up the rest of this? But then I guess that would also ruin the structure that I've already created, which was quite a nice shape, so maybe I don't want to risk it. Okay, so this definitely looked a lot more done from down there, but to be honest, I kind of like this weird little ring that's left. It makes it look really unique, right? Definitely not just saying that because I don't want to go back down and mine all of that, but I genuinely do think it looks quite cool. So now the hard part's done, we get to decorate this bad boy. So I'm thinking lily pads, sugarcane, lanterns, you know, all that good stuff. And I'm also thinking maybe like a little fishing hut slash dock situation down there. I don't know. It just makes sense that we would do that in such a large pond. So that's all of the seagrass done. Let's run around and add in a bunch of this bamboo and sugarcane. And it's quite funny really, because usually this sort of bulks out the edge of the pond a little bit, but this one is so big that it just, I don't know, it's like non-existent. It's really not doing as much as I wanted it to. But we'll see, once everything's grown in, it might be fine. The sugarcane isn't fully grown in yet, but as I suspected, it's a little bit tiny along the edge, but we'll see, we'll see. Let's get in here and add all of our lily pads and just fill out the water a little bit more, make it look a little less just blue, I guess. Okay, the lily pads are in, and I think that's doing a good job of helping it feel a little bit more natural. And what is that noise? Is that a bunny? What is a bunny doing here? That doesn't feel natural. How has that got here? That is really, really sweet though. The little bunny running through all of the grass and stuff. I feel like you only really see them in the deserts. But anyways, you may notice I'm holding a bunch of stone, and I thought to break up all of the greeniness and, I don't know, just in general add extra details. I was thinking we add in a bunch of random stone structures and then cover them in vines and mossy cobblestone and whatnot, and it should look super, super cute. It's definitely not anything crazy, but it does definitely help with the overall look of the pond. So let's just add in a few more of those around the edge and then see what else we can do tomorrow when the sun comes up. I guess actually we should probably make our way up to the house, which is this way. Okay, because it's getting dark and scary things are going to come out very soon. This should be the last one of these little stone thingamabobs that I'm building here, and then we can move on to adding some lanterns to our lily pads. Nice. Those look really, really good actually. I'm glad I added them. They definitely mix everything up a bit. But as I said, now let's run around and add some lanterns to our lily pads. And by run, I mean swim. Okay, the pond and the lanterns are looking really good. I am concerned with how tall these are gonna get, but we can just keep chopping them down, I guess. But anyways, let's get to work on our little fishing hut that I want to add. It's not really going to be used for anything. It will just look cute right by the water, so that's why I'm building it. Okay, that's the walls done. Let's add in a bunch of wheat blocks for our roof. Again, very painful to use them, but I do technically have infinite wheat, so I can't be that upset about it. Now let's add in some dark oak slabs to make it look less like I've just placed a bunch of wheat on top of a house. Okay, cute. Let's just do the same on the back, and then we can get started on our dock. So for the dock, I'm going to keep it really simple, but also add some extra details with our campfires, making sure to put them out so we don't burn our little toesies. Okay, that is looking really, really cute. I just want to jump over here and add in a little bit of lighting. So let's do this, add in our campfire, add our trapdoor, and add our oil lantern, and that should be good after we put that campfire out. There we go. I would say that is our pond and fishing hut area done for now, at least. Now let's climb our way back up the mountain. What would I call this? I don't know, but either way, we've got to get back up to the house, take a little nap, and then head out for some more materials. Actually, first, since we're not in any rush, let's just feed these sheep a little bit so that we can breed a few more, because we're going to need some more wool in the future, that's for sure. I topped off my stone and iron, some of which I crafted into lanterns. Then I set out for diorite, calcite, andesite, and more moss blocks. On the surface, I gathered azalea leaves, vines, lots of pretty flowers, and cacti to smelt for green dye. Once that was done, I headed to the Badlands for terracotta, then I used my green dye to make green terracotta. Before heading home, I chopped down some dark oak trees and some cherry trees, making sure to collect all of the cherry leaves as I went. So, I absolutely love cherry trees for obvious reasons, and the land around the pond really needs some attention, so I'm thinking let's get into giving it some cute and custom cherry trees. The vanilla ones are fine, but it doesn't hurt to add a few custom trees here and there. As much as I sometimes dislike building custom trees, I can't argue with the fact that they really do make a big difference, so that is exactly what we're building right now. I think that looks pretty good for the frame. It's looking a little spooky right now, but once we get the leaves on, it should be absolutely fine. So I'm just gonna add in the leaves on this smaller bit here and keep it separate from all of the stuff up here, just because I think it will look cuter. Okay, that one's looking good. Let's get right up to the top and add all of the other leaves, and then we can head all around the pond and add in a bunch more of these custom trees. Okay, sweet. That's our first custom tree done. Now we figured that out, it should be much easier to get the other ones done, but the sun is going down, so we have to climb all the way back up to the house, and then we can get started on the others tomorrow. So as you could probably guess, I spent a little while building up the rest of the custom trees around the pond. Tree after tree, placing the wood, adding branches, and way too many leaves as usual, because of course, no custom tree is complete without an excessive amount of leaves. But once the trees were finished, the whole area felt so much more lush and natural. I think the pond is really coming together now, especially with all of those custom trees. So since the pond is now looking lovely, I want to be able to look out at how cool this terrain is, and I have a couple ideas for how to do it, and both of them are very, very cool. So I ended up not being able to decide, and I'm going to do both. And the first one I'm going to do is a lookout tower. So let's get this foundation and frame sorted. And I can hear some of you guys saying, you never told us what the second one is going to be. And to that I say, I know, I'm being a little devious here and I'm gonna surprise you. All right, now I'm really thinking about it. I'm not gonna bother with a frame. I'm just gonna go right in and add in the walls, to be honest, because I feel like adding a frame is just pointless for this one because it's all just stone. I have a feeling this one's gonna be a little bit funky to try and build because it is a rounded shape, and it means that I have to be a little bit more careful with where I'm placing stuff for it to not look strange. So to get to the top of the tower, I'm just gonna add in a bunch of these spruce logs up the middle, and then I'm gonna do like a twisty staircase once I get down to the bottom. Whew, okay, that is very high up. I'm glad I remembered to bring my water bucket with me. Ah, no! The water's pushing me into my enemy. Oh, he's just climbing the tower. You know what? I would too. Although to avoid running into any more of those guys, let's just head to bed real quick and then continue with the tower in the morning. As if I just ran directly into a spider. So for the stairs, I'm gonna do, well, stairs and then a slab and then stairs and then a slab and then stairs, and hopefully it should take us up to the top with no problems. If I could place the stairs the right way around, that is. So I think this should be tall enough, so I'm gonna add a little platform around the edge here. And then to get right up to the top, let's add in a bunch of ladders instead of continuing the staircase, because why not? It also gets thinner up here, so I don't think the staircase would have worked, but either way, ladders are cute and we are at the top safely. This is going to be such a good spot once we get all of this bit built out. Now that's done, I'm going to add in some details out here and try and not do that again. I say as I take even more damage. But I wanted to add some details to the windows, is what I was trying to do there. To be honest, this is probably the better and safer way to do it, meaning building on the outside and not just hanging out of the window trying to add details, but you know, I was just trying to cut corners and it obviously bit me in the butt, so won't be doing that again. Oh, actually, before I put the windows in, let me add in a couple of these and a couple chains and a couple lanterns. Very nice. Now let's get ourselves back inside this window. Let's add in our glass, and since we're going to build the rest from outside anyway, let's just add the glass to all of these windows. And let's get outside and place all the other details on the other windows and try not to fall from great height again. Okay, yeah, that looks really cute. It would look much cuter if there wasn't a stack of stairs, but You get the vision, right? So now the window details are done. Let's get to work on adding our platform up here. So all the holes are covered that I could fall down. So let's build out these sides and then we'll connect it all up and have a lovely little platform to stand on. Okay, now that's done. Let's add in a nice little dark oak border around this, and then we'll add in some fences and some trapdoors and make it look even better than it already does. Oh, actually I'm going to bring this out a little bit further. So let me get rid of those and we'll build this out with our spruce logs. I'm very scared right now. We are hanging off the edge of this very high up tower. Then let's add in a spruce log right here, and then let's use trapdoors to fill in these gaps just to mix it up a little. Quite funny that I'm doing this because from the floor you are not going to have a clue that any of these details are up here, but at least we know they're there. Okay, now let's add in a couple of those, then use our fence to go all the way around the edge. That looks super cute. Let's do that to all the other sides. So now the platform's all done, let's build up our roof. And I'm going to use a mix of these moss blocks and the green wool because it will look super duper cute. I just really like this tone of green. Like, green is one of my favorite colors and I feel like it just fits the vibe of this lookout tower perfectly. Alright, almost there. Now that's done, I'm just going to add in some extra details with these dark oak bits because I want to break up the green just a little bit because it is very, very green right here. And I don't have any water up here, but I was thinking the final step here would be cute to add in some bone mealed moss, which will create some little bits of grass and whatnot, and then add in a bunch of leaves for our final details. Alright, we are all done with the roof. Let's jump down there. Let's run down the ladder. I forgot there was a ladder here and that it wasn't immediately stairs. But let's run down the stairs and then see what this looks like all completed from the outside as I hit my head on every lantern down the stairs. Okay, that actually looks really cool, but also ridiculous. I didn't realize I was building it that big. Oh, actually with the sun going down, we should probably run back up to the tower and take a look out over what we've done so far. There we go. Okay, I feel like we need a step so that we are not blocked by this, but like, look at that. That looks so nice. Next on our list is some fancy stairs, and I think it's about time because jumping up and down the sides of this thing has been okay actually, but I feel like having a nice set of stairs would be way better. You know, just in case we have any visitors, I can't expect them to be good at rock climbing, so we'll make the stairs. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna build up the stone parts and like the side bits first, and then I'll go back in and add the actual staircase once that's all done, because I really don't want to place all those center stairs only to realize I've made a big mistake somewhere and have to break it all down again. I've learned that lesson the hard way before, so we're playing it safe this time. I also feel like working with stone in general is already a challenge in itself, because the moment you misplace a block and have to break it, it just turns back into cobblestone, which means either smelting it again or using silk touch, which obviously we don't have, and both are just a hassle. So it's kind of like the game actively punishes you for changing your mind or making a mistake when building with it. But I'm just gonna be extra careful whilst placing everything, and hopefully I don't lose too much stone. Okay, now all of that's done, let's get this bad boy filled in. I spent some time using various mossy blocks to give everything an aged, weathered look, so it looks like it's been standing here for a long time rather than just freshly built. Mixing in the mossy textures adds so much character, like nature has slowly started creeping in over the years. For the arches, I filled them in with pink cherry wood to match the surrounding biome, and of course to keep things cute, because the soft pink against the stone gives such a nice contrast. Whilst I was doing this pretty tedious task of filling in all the gaps, I was pretty excited to start adding in extra details later. I knew this build was going to turn out super aesthetically pleasing because it's already got that balance of old and overgrown mixed with soft and whimsical, and I was just itching to bring in even more little touches to make it feel alive. Okay, so now the base of the stairs are done. I'm just gonna add in some lighting and then we can go ahead and add in some extra details. And I feel like at this point in all of my videos, I have like a signature lighting setup because I feel like I do this every time. It's just a really simple and cute way to get some lighting in, and like I said, it's simple and easy. Now I'm just gonna run around and add these on pretty much every corner, and it's quite funny really because running up and down these stairs because they're a zigzag takes way longer than just climbing up the side of the... What do I even call this? I've had this trouble before whilst filming this video. I have no idea what to call this kind of terrain, but I think like a cliff face? It could be, perhaps. There's definitely or probably an actual word for this kind of thing, but I'm going with cliff face. Okay, that's all of the lighting done, and if you can't tell from my hotbar, my next plan is to absolutely cover this thing in leaves. I was thinking around these side bits it would be super cute to have like a zigzag situation going on, or maybe not zigzag, what would it be called? I guess it technically is zigzag, just like doing this. Kind of like twisting vines kind of vibe, and I'm also going to add actual vines to this so it also has vines. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I hope you guys do. You see what I'm going for? Like a little twisty vine situation. Anyways, let's get up these stairs and just add leaves absolutely everywhere else, and then I'll get back to doing those sides later. Okay, leaves are done, flower pots are done. Let's add in some cute cherry benches because this is a very long journey down. If we have any visitors, they might want to take a little break, so we'll just make sure that they've got a bench at every corner if they want to sit down. And I would say that is our staircase finished. On that note though, it's probably about time to head out for some more materials. So let me just grab some stuff and then we'll head out. You know, I was wondering where Millie was and she's just been up here the whole time. Are you stuck? I don't think she's stuck. She just likes being in small, dark places. Anyways, I've got some empty pockets. Let's go get some food real quick and then we'll head out. Armed with some shears, I set out to gather a bunch of wool and some flowers to make various dyes. Once that was done, I gathered some more cherry leaves and cherry wood and then chopped down a few more spruce trees and birch trees. I picked up sand and gravel for concrete. Then I ventured into the caves once again for some more iron, coal, and cobblestone. I also collected a bunch of calcite, then went on home. So I'm still not going to tell you guys what my secret build is going to be, but I will tell you that today we are building a gazebo. This one is actually something I've built before, inspired by a Pinterest reference I found for an enchant room, and I really wish those posts had links to the original artists so I could properly credit them, but either way, it is so cute and it fits this biome perfectly, so I'm just going to run it back, add it to this world too, because honestly, it just deserves a spot here. This time though, it won't be an enchant room. You know, to be honest, I really like that combo, but I am going to go ahead and strip all of these blocks because it's not quite the vibe we're going for this video. But I will keep that in mind. Cherry wood and birch logs. So now to break up the pink a little bit, I'm going to add in some calcite and some calcite stairs. And now that's done, we can build up the rest of this. And again, as lovely as this tone of purple is, I am going to strip all of the wood to make it pink again. Alright, that is the roof all done. Then we can add in some lanterns hanging from each side here, and then we can add a bunch of leaves to the roof because I do it to every build. Okay, that looks super cute. Now let's just add in a bunch of these palisades to join up the pillar trims and also hang some lanterns. Okay, that is looking really good. Just to finish it off in here, I'm gonna add in a few benches and a few more leaves just inside. And a couple lights hanging from the ceiling because it is pretty dark under here. Right, so next up we're going to be building a market because I feel like having cute little stalls to go around the gazebo and the watchtower would be really cute right now. Why am I losing my voice? I feel like I haven't given enough clues to give the secret build away, but there's the house and the little fairground / market, and I even mentioned a certain someone that I feel like makes the secret build a dead giveaway if you know the show. But I will give you a moment to guess. However, I'm still not telling. So now the floors are marked out for our market. Let's actually build our market. So I'm going to start by placing these barrels. Okay, that's why that looked weird. That really confused me, but I want those to be facing upwards. Then let's do a chest here and a barrel here. Then let's build up the sides. We'll do just one on the front and then 2 fences on the back. Let's add a little bit of lighting and then add our brick walls on top of those. All right, once I finished adding in all of these little logs, it's safe to say that the base for all of the markets are finished. This one's obviously selling a bunch of wood and whatnot, but I'm not sure what these two are going to be selling. I'll let you guys come up with what the other ones sell, because for now I've got to get a roof on this thing. Don't mind me just building some really weird and really tall docks for nothing in particular. I don't actually think I've been able to keep a build this secret for this long, so I am very excited to see if any of you in the comments figured it out. And I'm not talking about what I'm building right now, I'm talking about what I'm about to build next. So right now I'm just building out some huge docks that are gonna have support stretching all the way down to make it feel super sturdy and realistic too. And once this big old rectangle is done, I'll be down on the ground, building up with all my fences, making sure that everything looks properly reinforced. Definitely a lot of specific block placing. Not specific, what's the word? I can't think what the word is right now, but basically because it's fences, the hitbox is a lot smaller, so it makes it a bit more difficult. But anyways, once the structure is in, it's gonna look super good, so let's get this done. We have got a long way to build up, and I'm gonna have to stand right on the edge of the scaffolding here, because otherwise it's gonna place weird. So wish me luck. Oh my gosh, I thought we would already be there by now. I would love to say that this is the final step to this part of the build, but unfortunately it's not. I still need to go around and add in some of these fence gates along every point where I've put these thicker palisades. So let's get that done. Okay, that is all of the foundations for our docks finished, and you don't even want to know how long that took me. It was a very, very long and painful process, but now we have the easy part of filling in all the docks with the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and use campfires and just some spruce slabs to keep it simple, but also adding in some extra details with the crisscrossness of the extinguished campfires. Oh, I should probably go to bed in real life and in game. Okay, back to placing the campfires and the spruce slabs. Ouch. Whew. Okay, at long last, that is our docks finished. So now welcome to secret build time. If you guessed hot air balloons, you would be 100% correct. Wouldn't it be funny if I was like, I'm building a hot air balloon? Psych, it's a dentist's office. That would be so stupid. Oh, sorry guys. I don't know what's up with me, but I'm still laughing at the thought of building a dentist's office right now. Anyways, let's carry on with these hot air balloons. So for the actual fiery hot air balloon type part, I'm going to use a bunch of blast furnaces around the edge, and then I'm going to add in campfires around the middle. Just got to be super careful with where I'm walking, because if I fall off of here, I'm definitely dead if I don't land in the pond. I guess it's good that we expanded the pond, because it means there's less chance of that happening. Okay, so now I've got to get rid of all of this before I can put the campfires in, so I just got to carefully move backwards. And then I can build up here, if I'm careful. Jump down here, get rid of these extra pieces, and then let's add in our campfires. Alright, that's looking good. Let's get up here and start adding in the wool and whatnot to be able to make our actual balloon. Just got this final layer to do, and then that should be all of the white wool for this one finished. Then we just have to try and jump down and add all of the blue. Maybe I should leave a hole in the middle so that we can actually jump down somewhere that isn't just right off the edge. Oh, actually, to be honest, I can jump down there and then I'm sort of in the right place. So let's just fill in this top bit and then we can do the blue. So I've basically just got to join up all of the corners here, but it's going to be a little bit difficult because I also need to make it sort of, what's the word, rounded. So wish me luck with this. Also, how cute does our little area look from up here? I wish I could see it from here more often, but to be honest, once this is built, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get back up here. So I was thinking these look good as is, but I'm actually just going to jump back up here and add in some more details because I just feel like they look a little bit plain, and from a distance too, they just need a little bit more going on to look a bit more interesting. So I'm thinking we do some sort of, what would I call this? Like a pointed swoop thing? So like it's gonna curve around here, point down, curve around, just like that. But I'm gonna also add in some of this light blue concrete to just change up the texture a little bit. Now let's add in some extra details with these dark oak planks and a bunch of these fences. And I have to be so careful right now. Oh, maybe I should put that in my offhand so I can actually see. Because again, we are just sort of surviving on these dirt pieces and hoping that we don't fall. Okay, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think we're done with this balloon and we are finally pretty much out of materials. So I'm just going to jump down into our pond. Let's break all of our scaffolding and make sure to pick it up, even though we've got plenty of bamboo to make more out of. But, you know, I like to save time where I can. I'm actually a little bit nervous to see what this looks like because obviously I've spent so much time on it, and if it doesn't look good right now, I really don't want to have to go back up there and fix it. Okay, well, I think it's safe to say that nothing about that needs fixing. Oh my goodness, that looks stunning. It was also a little bit painful to build, and I plan on building more, so let's go get some more materials and then head back home as quick as possible. I cannot wait to build more of those. That's sarcasm if you didn't catch that. I headed out with a few shovels in my inventory to collect sand and gravel to make concrete. I also collected a bunch of mud to make mud bricks. Underground, I topped off my iron and coal supply as well as my cobblestone. Then I resurfaced to grab some more dark oak, spruce, and cherry wood. Again, shearing many sheep along the way for their cozy wool. I picked up flowers for various dyes, and once that was all done, I headed home. Okay, so as you can imagine, trying to talk and build at the same time with these hot air balloons was not easy. There's a lot of concentration, crouching, and sheer willpower that went into this because one wrong move and I'd be tumbling off into the abyss. So, while past M builds, let's talk about something important. How terrifying hot air balloons are. I think they're beautiful and I would love to see a whole sky full of them, but actually getting inside one? Absolutely not. I do not like the idea of flying in something that you can't steer, like you're just up there at the mercy of the wind and hoping for the best. And honestly, on that note, why haven't they evolved over time into something completely safe and more controllable? I feel like we've had plenty of time to improve them, and yet they are still just a basket, a balloon, and flying on vibes, basically. I also feel like there have been enough freak accidents that at this point there should be at least some kind of ban or major design, or I don't know, like a law? Is there law against hot air balloons? Are they technically a vehicle? I don't know. I feel like I would sooner jump out of a plane than go up in a hot air balloon, and even that is not exactly safe. Okay, actually no, I wouldn't do that because now that I'm thinking about it, a parachute is basically the same concept. You're just floating and waiting for the wind to decide your fate. So, and I feel like once the wind takes you, that's it. You're just in the air forever, right? Actually, no. What goes up must come down. Anyways, the balloon builds are done. Yippee! Okay, these may have taken me an absolute lifetime to build, but they are so worth it. I obviously did the same designs on these two, but on this one I went for something else because I thought it'd be really cute to try and add like little hearts on each of the corners, and I think it worked. So this is where I abandon all sense of believability because I saw an Oregon travel video that had a bunch of hot air balloons with little rope bridges in between them, and that has just not left my brain since. So naturally, I've got to give it a go at recreating those in Minecraft. Okay, that looks pretty good, but it's not really giving rope bridge. So I think I need to get back down there and make a few adjustments. I'm wondering if we take out a few of these pieces and kind of make it look like there's just these individual slabs. And I know this is technically dangerous because we could just fall right between them, but we're right above the pond. It should be fine. I feel like maybe I should keep some of the more important looking ones in. Maybe they don't have to just be like one apart, right? But the ones that sort of go off at an angle, I feel like if we get rid of them, it won't look quite right for the next piece, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep breaking pieces, and then hopefully when I step back this looks good, because otherwise I've got to come back up here and put the pieces back in. Okay, I think I like this better, but it definitely is a lot more work than just using the slabs, but I really don't want to have to change that side again, so I'm pretty much just going to build out the rest of the bridges and then do the same thing again. Punch out a bunch of holes, add a few pieces of rope, and hopefully it should look really good when we're all done. So it turns out I actually didn't have enough ropes to do all of this, so I just filled it in as normal and then returned this one to its former glory, which is a little bit sad, but we are going to be adding another little mini hot air balloon right here just to fill in the space a little bit more. I'm thinking for this one we go for just pink wool, not because it's the only wool I have a decent amount left of or anything. Just think it would look super cute. I was planning to do red, but I feel like because this one here is quite a lot of red, it just would be too close together, so going for pink is definitely the better option anyway. Okay, I think we can safely say that that is all of our hot air balloons and their bridges completed. I should probably go pick that up, but that looks super insane and super cute, but we are out of materials, so we're gonna have to head out for some more stuff soon. And by soon, I mean in like 10 seconds. I headed into the caves one last time to top off my iron and coal. I also picked up more cobblestone, moss, and a new material, granite. Back in the fresh air, I gathered azalea leaves and rounded out my resource collection by chopping down some more spruce trees. And now it's finally time to get everything tied together with some paths, lighting, and signs. I feel like there's already a lot going on here, so I'm keeping the paths super simple with just dirt trails, nothing too fancy, just something to naturally connect everything together. I do, however, have some of these little granite path decoration things to add just a little bit of texture without making it look too messy and chaotic. This way I can just sprinkle a few details in, but it still has the dirt path underneath, so it just doesn't become overwhelming. Okay, almost there. Just need to do the path from the stairs to the little fishing hut, and then we should be done with placing the path. All right, we are almost there. I just need to finish placing the path from the stairs to the fishing hut, and then we should be done with the placing the path situation, and we can start decorating around the edge and making it look a little bit more interesting. I know I said I wanted to keep it simple, but I don't know, I just like adding a lot of details. For lighting, we're running it back to our classic street lamp style because if it works, it works. I'm just gonna dot a few of these along the paths to make sure everything is nicely lit up, not just for aesthetics, but also so we don't end up with any unwanted guests lurking around at night. But down here, I'm just gonna do a single trapdoor situation, just because I feel like it might be too much to have doubles all the way along here. So let's do a few more of these and then we can add some signs about. Do I need another one right here? Probably not. Actually, yeah, why not? And not that we really need signs right here, but I do think it would be really cute to have a couple hanging around. Let's do this one at like a slight angle so it's a little bit funkier. We'll name the village and I think we'll call it Millie's Market because that's super cute. And then what could we call the gazebo? I feel like I want to name it after you guys, but I've just realized that our community doesn't really have a name yet. So I'm just going to call it the community gazebo and you guys can give me suggestions for names in the comments, right? I'm also just going to dye these white real quick so that you can actually read them. And now we can take a little time to wrap everything up with some final details. I feel like adding some fairy lights will just sort of mix up the lighting situation a little bit, and also fairy lights are just adorable as is. I'm also thinking we go for some pink fairy lights between the house and the gazebo here. Oh, am I going to be able to reach? Okay, cute. Also, I have these really cute little pink flower lights that I've added to them, which are just obviously the most adorable thing ever. And finally, since I cut down so many cherry trees, I feel like it's only right to plant a bunch and bring some of them back. Plus, more cherry trees just make everything look even cuter, and I feel like planting more is just like a little thank you to the biome for all the wood, and to be honest, you can never have too many cherry blossoms. And I think it's safe to say that that is our transformation complete. As cherry blossoms drifted softly to the ground and the sun peeked out between the hot air balloons, I knew our transformation was complete. From the vibrant balloons, the sturdy watchtower, and our deeply strange dogs, I was satisfied with what we had done. My name is Em, this is Millie, and you have all been amazing. Thank you so much for watching, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.